Hi there, I'm Jon Mutchler, and welcome to the Monday Morning Pastor, where we share a point or two from yesterday's sermon to help us get through the week. Today's passage really needs no commentary. It rather plainly speaks for itself, but I'm going to read it. It's from the book of Philippians in the New Testament, chapter 4, beginning at verse 4 and ending at verse 7. Verse 4. Rejoice in the Lord always. I will say it again, rejoice. This is something Paul, I don't think, has done elsewhere in all of his writings. He lays out a principle or a commandment, and then he repeats himself emphatically. Rejoice in the Lord always. I will say it again, rejoice. And then he goes on in verse 5, let your gentleness be evident to all. The Lord is near. He doesn't say, be gentle, but make sure your gentleness is known. What I get from that is that it's not just you thinking that you are a gentle or a patient or a forgiving person. It's how others perceive you. And so a good question to ask would be to ask those that are close to you or loved ones around you, am I a patient person? Am I a gentle person? And get their honest feedback. He goes on in verse 6 with the key meat of the passage. Do not be anxious about anything. And the Lord knows there's a lot of stuff to be anxious about today. Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition with thanksgiving, present your requests, your needs to God. And then here's the result, verse 7. And the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus. So he says the keys to peace: rejoicing, praying, giving things over to God, and having a forbearing or gentle spirit with other people. So here's my tip of the day, and something that I did yesterday was I had to get some help to do this because I'm not very tech smart, but I have programmed my cell phone to remind me every hour to rejoice, to pray, and commend. To rejoice and to pray and commend. That means I'm going to express either inwardly or outwardly something I'm grateful about. Number 2, I'm going to bring my needs and my concerns to God. And then finally, I'm going to commend people. I'm going to find ways to praise people. It's really easy to rip people, whether in front of them or in private, but to actually find ways to positively share good things with people. And we can all look forward to the result, again, in verse 7. And the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard our hearts and minds in Christ Jesus. Thank you for listening and for watching. Have a great day.